Mm-hmm. Okay, look at that. YouTube Studio not really wasting any time today. You love to see it. All right. We ready, baby. Let's get it. Okay, let me actually turn off Twitter here. That'll ease some of the burden off of it. All right. All right. Of course, I'm getting a no data thing on YouTube Studio. That's always fun. Okay. Uh, just gotta wait, as always. Let me refresh. Sometimes YouTube Studio works really well, and other times it doesn't. Sometimes it gets a little bit of an attitude. Yeah, it's not fun. Come on. Any day now. There you go. God. Made me wait forever. Why don't you? Damn. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Guardians series recap, series preview live stream. And yeah, we got a good one to talk about as the Guardians finished up a 3-game series with the Brew Crew in a series where the Guardians offense definitely showed up. But more impressive enough, the most impressive thing was our starting pitching. So I'll get into that here in a minute. And then, of course, afterwards, I will be previewing the upcoming leg 1 of the Ohio Cup against the Reds. Our first matchup against Terry Francona since the Reds decided to drag him out of retirement and have him be their new manager. By the way, the Reds are currently playing against the White Sox. They are losing 4-2, bottom of the ninth, because they're feeble, and of course they're going to lose to the White Sox. That's a classic Tito thing. Losing to teams that you had. Damn! Here we go with the coughing now. And of course, OBS is trolling. I think it's because it's been, of course. Yeah, I could tell because things are acting kind of wonky out here. So, while I wait for MLB to get its act together here, should have just had everything pulled up at the beginning and then just went through it, but no, because that would have put a big burden on my computer, and I don't really want to do that right now. So, first game of the series was Ben Lively against Freddie Peralta. And unfortunately, Ben actually exited the game after 3 innings due to, I guess, what they call forearm inflammation or something. Something along the lines of that. So he was placed on the IL. And I believe he was actually slated to face the Reds. So we'll see who they put in his place. So obviously, when I get to that matchup against the Reds, we're not going to know who it'll be. It's probably going to be someone from the minor leagues. Probably Doug Casey if I had to guess, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure they'll probably call somebody up when it's time, like they always do. But yeah, I mean, until he got hurt, Ben Lively, 3 innings, 1 hit allowed, 2 walks, and a strikeout, 3.22 ERA. Slowly but surely, I think he's starting to once again get back into form like he was last year. Of course, last year was the most he's pitched in the majors since he went to Korea, I believe it was. He hadn't pitched in the majors in a game as long as he did, like a season. Yeah. That was the deepest into a season he's pitched. That's what I'm trying to say. My brain is mush. My God. Also, I'm kind of distracted because I don't want to get into talking and then have OBS cut out. And then it's like, you guys don't hear what I say. But yeah, Ben Lively was great. And then, of course, he got hurt. Hopefully he's all right, though. Hopefully it's not a long-term thing. Jacob Junis came in. Solid. Colby Allen again for 3 innings. Great stuff out of him. Cade and Gaddis finished the job. Good stuff out of them. Freddie Peralta. Yeah, the Guardians went after him pretty hard. 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, 4 Ks. 2.66 ERA. And the Guardians would essentially get most of their runs in 1 inning again. That's what they do. 3-run double by Gabriel, not Ari Ass. No, it's Ari Not Ass. That's a better nickname for him. Gabriel Ari Not Ass. Because he's actually pretty good this year, believe it or not. He's actually batting almost, he's above 270s. That's not too bad. Wow. I like that. And by the way, they actually sent down Rocchio. Wow. How about that? They finally freaking did it. They sent Brian Slocchio to AAA for Will Brennan. Okay. Silly Willy. Yeah, bird sacrifice. Woo! For those who don't know what I'm referencing, a couple years ago, Will Brennan hit a bird with a ball. He hit a ball in a game, not during batting practice. It was in a game. He hit a line drive, and it sniped a bird. And then he hit a home run afterwards. And then he would do this whenever he would hit a homer afterwards, which it didn't last long. Which that kind of stuff doesn't usually last long with us. Nope. But it's, we'll see what he does. Of course, in this game he went 0-2. Figures. But yeah, Arias would have 3 runs scored. Kyle Manzardo continues his scorching hot start. He had an RBI single. He's batting .218. Which is crazy. As of this game, of course. So he made it 4-0. And then, of course, he got to have a Carlos Santana RBI walk. Haven't seen those in a while. An RBI walk by Santana. Oh, man, that's a memory right there. Oh, the walks he draws. Oh, boy. Sight for sore eyes. They call him Walk Tana. Straight up. I think he has to be one of the leaders in the franchise when it comes to walks in history. It's crazy. He has such a great eye at the plate, mostly when he's locked in. But that's all they needed. Really, they won the game with Gabriel Arias' hit. As they shut out the Brewers 5-0. Junis got the dub. He's 1-1, 3.79 ERA. Beautiful stuff out of Junis after Lively got hurt. And then Peralta took the loss. He's 4-3 with a 2.66 ERA. No save for Gaddis. So, yeah, overall, good stuff by the Guards, right? Pitching a shutout. And this came right after they were getting wrecked by the Phillies. So what a way to respond, right? What a way to respond to getting wrecked by the Phillies the last 2 games. You'd go out and shut out the Brewers, right? Crazy. Love to see it. So then, we go into yesterday's game. May 13th. Of course, it was Logan Allen versus Quinn Priester. If that name kind of sounds familiar, that's because the Guardians faced Priester in his Major League debut with the Pirates. And they scored like 10 runs on him or something. They beat the crap out of the poor kid. And I guess they somewhat remembered that because J-Ram would strike in the bottom of the first with a solo shot, and that would be his 7th of the year. And then Cal Manzardo would hit an RBI triple. Oh boy, a triple! That's a rarity these days. But it's because Churio made a horrible play, I believe it was. I think that was what it was, yeah. Churio made a horrible dive on it, and the ball bounced, missed him, and went to the deep outfield. And Yelich had to go get it. That's tough. That's tough. You hate to see that. I can only imagine how Churio felt after that, man. You thought you had a look at, you had a good read on it. You go to make a dive, and everyone knows if you're gonna dive for a ball, you better get it, because if you don't, that thing bounces over your glove. There's nobody there to back you up for a while, right? You're in no man's land. And of course, Kyle got a triple, his 2nd of the year. And yeah, 2-0. But that's all they'd need, because Logan Allen was actually really damn good. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 Ks, 3.70 ERA for Logan. A shutout again. And then Priester would go 5 innings of 3 hit, 1 run, 2 walk, 3K baseball with a home run allowed. 4.59 ERA. After that, though, their bullpen was pretty solid. Yeah. I guess they ruled. Yeah, they didn't even rule that it was an RBI. They just, because there was an error, I guess. Well, no, they did rule it was an RBI. What the heck? That's weird. Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh, no, that was Payamps. Yeah, bottom 8. That's right. Yeah, Payamps gave up the run. That's tough. He has an 8 ERA? Ugh. Yeah, he stinks. He stinks. Absolutely stinks. So Logan Allen got the win. He's 2-2, 3.70 ERA. Priester took the loss. He's 1-2, 4.59 ERA. And Emmanuel Clase got his 9th save with a 4.91 ERA. I think he's starting to get in a groove a little bit now. But that's good to see. So that was game 2 of the series. Guardians take the series. Now they go for the sweep. And of course, today, Gavin Williams on the mound. I thought it was against Quintana, but no. It was against Henderson. Beats me who the heck that is. I thought, did Quintana start or something? No. Nope. Nope. Who starts their next game then? That's weird. Huh. Wow. Now, unfortunately for this game, of course, Gavin, he'd be all right. But his pitch count, once again, gets up there. He has a knack for doing all right, but then that pitch count, he throws a lot of pitches every outing. I mean, he barely goes 5, but he'll throw like 90 pitches in those 5 innings. It's like, come on now. But yeah, he didn't do bad. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs allowed, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a home run. That home run was given up to... Well, that was later on, yeah, because he went 5 innings. It was to Sal Frelick in the 5th. And they faced Henderson, who himself went 5 innings of 4 hit, 2 run, 2 earned, 1 walk, 7K, 1 homer baseball. Yeah. And then 2.45 ERA for him. Now, Jake Bowers, of course, had to have a revenge game against us. And he had an RBI double, scoring a run. of course. And then Mansardo would homer again, his 10th of the year, tie the game up at 1. Bottom 4, Nolan Jones would give us the lead, RBI single. And then top 5, literally right after, Sal Frelick would homer to tie the game up at 2. And then from this point on, it was all Brewers because, of course, Gavin exited the game. They bring in Tim Herron, and it all went downhill. It was bad. It was bad. Rhys Hoskins would hit a single, scoring a run. Jake Bowers would single, scoring a run. Durbin got hit by a pitch, which would score a run. And then Rhys Hoskins would hit the homer that essentially put us out of our misery. 7-2, 2-1 shot, top 7. But not to be outdone, though, the Guardians actually would make a little comeback with a 3-run homer. J-Ram, his 8th of the year. How about that? 3 homers in 3 days for Jose, I believe. Yeah, it's 2. Okay, well, still, really good stuff. He's starting to get his swing going. 8 homers now, 7-5. And then, of course, Arias actually had a chance to tie it, but of course he couldn't do it. And then Rhys Hoskins would put us away for good in the top of the 9th with a 2-run single. So the Guardians lose 9-5. Henderson went 5, of course, 4 hit, 2 run, 1 walk, 7 Ks, 1 homer allowed, 2.45 ERA. Gavin, again, wasn't bad, but the bullpen didn't help him out. 5 innings of 4 hit, 2 run, 1 walk, 6 K, 1 homer, 4.29 ERA. Yeah, they made up for those 2 shutouts with 9 runs in this game. Eventually, the dam was going to break, and of course it did. Tough. Anderson got the win. He's 2-0 with a 2.45 ERA. Herron took the loss. He's 3-1 with a 4.50 ERA. So that's it for the series. Guardians are 25-18, still second in the Central because the Tigers are all of a sudden really good. The Brewers are 21-23 and third in the NL Central. So now, let's talk about the series coming up against the Reds. Damn. Now, the Reds just lost to the White Sox. You hate to see that. They actually play the White Sox one more game tomorrow. And then the Guardians come to town. So we actually have an off day tomorrow. That's cool. And the only confirmed matchup we have is Tanner Bybee against Brady Singer. Oh yeah, Brady Singer, a guy that we know very well. And of course, he knows us very well too. All right. Brady Singer versus that series at home. So that's the first game. Last start. Actually, it was fantastic, but he lost. 7 innings of 5 hit, 1 run, 3 K ball, but he lost. And Brady Singer's coming off a 2 1/3 inning, 9 hit, 7 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout performance against Houston. If I had I don't even know who it'll be. It's probably Luis and somebody else. I gotta use my skills, my context clues, I guess, to figure out who pitched after Gavin. Because Ben, I believe, was slated for one of these games. Because he pitched game 1 against the Brewers. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Off day. And then 4. Yeah, he would have probably pitched game 2. So they might. I don't know what they're going to do. That's interesting. Guess we'll find out. Classic. Classic. Right? Just a classic thing to do. Good old Reds. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up. So we'll see what happens. Not sure how much you guys actually saw because weather's been acting up out here. So I don't know if OBS has been going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. But yeah, so I will be back tomorrow, I believe, for some more basketball. Let me actually pull it up real quick, get you guys a quick peek at that. Let's see here. Because we already know Knicks and Celtics are going 6 at least, maybe 7. If the Celtics force a 7th game, that would be nuts. Oh, brother. Without Jason Tatum? Dude, that would be crazy. That just goes to show you, though. They still got shooters over there. Florida won 6-1 over Toronto. That's brutal. Oh, that is just brutal, brutal, brutal. Oh my God. That's tough. Wow. Well, let's take a look at the schedule coming up for the NBA. And then I'm heading out of here. So tomorrow, it'll be OKC Denver. I'll be live for that. Possibly a clinching scenario for OKC in Denver. And then Friday, I'll be live for New York and Boston. Now, you're probably like, wait, what about Golden State, Minnesota? Well, that's a funky situation because, well, the Valkyries start their season on Friday in the WNBA, and they use the Chase Center. So, yeah, that'll be fun, right? Warriors and T-Wolves will be on Sunday. I thought it was Saturday. That's weird. Well, that makes sense. Today is Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then Sunday. Okay. That's true. So there's no games on Saturday? Wow. But yeah, tomorrow I will have Thunder Nuggets. Friday, Boston, New York. And, oh, wait. Hold up. I might be able to do a Guardians Reds game. Wow. Rare Guardians Reds game stream on Saturday. Ooh, that'd be fun. But we'll see. So, with that being said, we'll see what else happens with these other games too. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna hop on out of here. Have a good rest of your night, and let's go Guards. Beat the Reds. You already know, because we own them, and at least secure the trophy for another year, which we've essentially held the trophy since Tito showed up. Let's keep it in Cleveland, right? With that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Cards. And I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah.